and we're using their automation to bring us those leads.
Okay. You see Mike's text or no?
Yeah, he can hop on his phone. I'm on my phone, so.
All right, no, me too.
Alex is in the Bahamas on his iPad, I
guess. You see how the water crashes with the waves, right? Here, hold on, let me admit it, man.
I wish that was the case.
All right, I think I got both you guys in there. All right, Mike, can you hear us? He might have to turn his camera on. There we go. There's Mike.
The face of the business.
Is he up? I don't see him yet.
Connecting to audio. There we go.
Oh, there he is.
There he is.
Is that okay?
Yeah, there we go. Hey, Mike, nice to meet you. My name is Alex. How you doing?
Alex, it's good to meet you, man. How are you?
Thanks for hopping on. I appreciate it. I know it's kind of like a shotgun time here, but it's more just because I got to jump into things, and we got a lot going on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to record some of the things we're going to share with you. So if you miss it, I'll upload like a private video link to you guys that you can just watch. So if you missed anything that I'm going over right now, you'll have it by the night's end of what to cover. It's going to be like a 5 to 7 minute overview.
Perfect. And this is about Gym Launch, right?
This is Gym Launch, yeah. So what I'm going to do is Gym Launch, in case you don't know, I was just saying it to Adam. Gym Launch has a bunch of different programs that they rock with. We're going to be focused primarily on the virtual component for a little while, whether it's 3 months or 18 months. We're not sure on that. That'll depend on the corona. But we're gonna be going heavy into the virtual market here. So we're gonna get you a username, password, and then there's gonna be some training modules. And what I was saying to Adam is, listen, whether you're great in sales or you're not great in sales, everything that this company does is very scripted. And the reason why is because it's a funnel approach. They're going to offer a price point of something that can be bought in the beginning with the expectations that it's going to be flipped long-term in the not too distant future after the 21 days or earlier. So a lot of their language, a lot of their verbiage, a lot of their communication is to set up for a bigger package sale down the road. That said, there is a bit of a jumpstart program. It's a 21-day boot camp that they do with the intention of an 70 to 90%. So I just, for all intents and purposes, we just used 80% retention from the boot camp. Cool. And Adam, should I go over like the pro forma and all that stuff of expectations? If these guys
we actually went over pretty good. I know Mike had a question about the average term length on when people are converting over.
Yeah, we covered that, Alex. We looked at all of that on Saturday, Saturday, and we looked over it, and as I was thinking about it over the weekend, really the only things that I came up with was curious about what the average length of commitment is. So I know there's a 12-month contract, but having been in personal training for as long as I've been in, I've noticed that folks might sign up for a 12-month contract, but the average rate of completion is usually about 9.5 months. So I was just curious if we had any data that shows how long people with Gym Launch typically stick with their contracts, whether it is the full 12 or if we should expect some attrition there as a result of folks stopping soon within the 12 months.
Yeah, there was data, and the data that he gave us, I didn't believe it. He said that the 20% attrition was after 12 months and during the 12 months. I still factored in. So for me, there was two types of attrition that they had. They used the word retention on their boot camp ones. I used the word conversion. So just for all intents and purposes, they convert 80% of the boot campers, and I'm just, they say 70 to 90%, but I'm saying 80%. So they're going to try and convert 80% of the boot campers into a long-term play. From there, he did say that they retained 80% of their members, and keep in mind, the play is on the backside. You have to engage with the members every single day, and we'll talk about that in like a second. So your retention might be high. I still put, if you looked in the pro forma, I think it was after month 3 or 4, I dipped the retention down a little bit and increased the attrition. So our pro forma, according to them, was conservative. Shockingly, they didn't have one.
Yeah.
Their language, this company focuses a big chunk of their business on owner operators. They don't really focus on businesses like Adam and I, where our team kind of runs the show. So we're kind of going in here with, we see that there's value. However, we're going to have to kind of create the rhythms and the cadences, if you will, to kind of manage the team. So to answer your question in a very indirect way, I think that we're good on the pro forma, but it's us creating it. They didn't have one. I didn't put in nutritional sales. I didn't supplement sales, and I didn't put in meal plans. That's also in here too. And then they have other programs that they sell. I just put the pro forma in for virtual component only. So to answer your question, does that get factored in? I factored it into our pro forma, and that's where you see the dip after. I think I did a 20% dip 3 months in, another 20% dip 6 months in, and maybe another 10% or so 9 or 10 months in. I'm not sure, but we factored it in just because that's what we see too. Is nobody really does a fulfilled agreement now. To
shorten, we went worst case scenario, right? Like we talked about, like hope for the best, prepare for the worst. So we did worst case scenario on our pro forma regarding retention, regarding bad debt, regarding attrition. So, now the goal is let's just convert.
Right, and I would rather that we prepare for the worst, just so that we have some realistic numbers and we're not caught off guard by anything. But that we can just kind of we have a better idea of what to expect. So I'm fine with that.
The big thing that we saw was depending on the market, after month 2 or after month 6, depends on your market and your ad spend on Facebook, right? I think we're going in heavy. We're doing 50 a day, correct, right, Adam?
That's what we're doing. Yeah.
Okay.
We got to go over with these guys what they want to do as far as Facebook ad spending.
Yep. So here, did you explain to them like the buyback of the leads and the 39 and all that stuff?
So we went over. We did discuss how we're going to take care of all the upfront costs, and then the business revenue is basically you guys will determine. What we're doing is we're just going full speed ahead. We're doing $50 per. What was it per day?
Yeah. So there's a $50 per day ad spend. There's a
on Facebook. Yeah.
Yep, there's a $39 per confirmed appointment. So these guys.
And I went over the confirming action of what they do. We also mentioned like it doesn't touch the 80 plus members that they have, and if you're converting anyone on your own that's not confirmed, we don't confirm them in the system, so we don't actually have to pay the fees on that. So there are additional sales on top of the confirmed appointments coming in.
Yep. So make sure if you guys do have clients, don't just throw them into this system. Make sure you ask us first on how you're going to do it, because if you just put them in, you're going to end up paying for your clients' leads to go into your system. So we'll come to that part. But for now, think of this as you're getting new members that you're going to be coaching virtually, right? And that's the approach. So when we get your username and password, the first thing that we're going to need in order to give you guys access is an NDA, just because they have a lot of proprietary software and techniques. So Adam will send you an NDA. Yep. Once we get that, then you'll get signed into their Facebook group where you can kind of see where it starts to become a little bit more believable. You got Nancy from Idaho, who has no sales skills, selling 5 virtual training packages a day. So it becomes a little bit more fun when you're like, really, Nancy? Anyways, when you log in, you're going to go to gymlaunch.com, and then it's going to be the U.S. site. So if you see, I got my Zoom meeting right here, but members.gymlaunch.us. Adam will get you your username and password once we get that NDA. And then when you log in, here's what you see. Here, let me close out
the NDA right now.
Yep. So when you log in, you see our team starting to watch some stuff. It's 18% complete right here. But what'll happen is you'll only have these two. You'll have the swag store and you have the Gym Launch Training Center over here on the left. You're going to click the GLX Training Center. And again, I'm recording this, so in the essence of time, don't worry about taking notes. I think I'm recording this. If I'm not, I'll send you a text later. But
yeah, it's recording up top. Yep.
All right, perfect. So there's all these modules right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 modules on the left you're going to watch. Each module has a few videos in it, with some of them containing 4, some of them containing 9. In the essence of time, because done is better than perfect, and we got to get your campaigns launched. If they're doing the lead nurturing and the lead generation, we don't really need to know how electricity works. We just need to know when we turn the switch on, it comes on, right?
So it's there, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So listen, you guys, you can watch it if you want, but there's going to be a butt ton of videos you're going to have to watch. So what I would recommend is a quick start. Hey, what do I do? If you guys are going to divvy it up on one person doing sale, because there's 2 types of fulfillment we need here. We need sales. So we need one guy that's going to be doing at least 9 to 12 and 3 to 7 every day with an hour of, I'm sorry, 2 to 7, 2 to 7.
Yep.
All right. Yep. So it's going to be 9 to 12 and 2 to 7 every day. And then they got to block off your lunch. And that's when you're going to be doing your coaching call with with Gym Launch. They want to, in the very beginning, engage as much as you can. Use that coach, because there's going to be a ton of mistakes that we're going to make, and our processes just don't make the same mistake again, right?
Okay.
So
yep.
You're going to need to do that Monday through Friday. And if you really want to increase your production, 9 to 12 on Saturday is what they recommend. So you'll have one guy beasting those sales where their schedule will just get packed, and we'll get you all set up. There's going to be somebody, putting appointments in. There might be 2 confirmed appointments a day or 3 confirmed a day. That doesn't mean you're only going to have 6 or 7 appointments on your calendar. It means you're only going to have 2 of the 6 or 7 on your calendar that are confirmed. Now, where do those appointments come from? Gym Launch is going to have access to some of the Facebook stuff. They're going to create a Facebook ad for you, and they're going to need some access to our back office of Facebook with our cards and all that stuff. But what they're going to do is they're going to get leads, and where those leads come from is from your Facebook ad spend. So behind the scenes, we either spend $10 or $50 a day. We can always tune it down if we need to. We get those leads that come in, they get nurtured through their process and put on our calendar. We then, whoever's doing the sales on our side, so whether that's you or Adam, whoever's doing the sales processes on side, will log into their computer virtually, do the phone call over the phone. Our advice is to use Zoom. We're a sales company. Sales is emotional. So 80% of communication is nonverbal. We're huge guys of being in front of them. Now, we will be in uniform. We'll have our name tags on, and we're setting the expectations. It's not going to be like this with my Under Armour going on. It's going to be, testimonials is my virtual background. I'm going to have Alex with my Anytime Fitness hat with my Alex name tag on. It's all going to look professional. Now, can you do it over the phone? Sure, but you're going to decrease your probability rate. And
right.
If you can do it with Zoom, we expect you'll have a higher increased closing rate. So For us, it's all about increasing that probability of success rate. So that's what the sales size looks like. On the fulfillment side, again, I'm regurgitating the information they've shared with us. You need about a minute per person that's a client per day. So if you end up having 100 clients, you're going to spend about 100 minutes on average, give or take a few, per day, reaching out to all those people. Now there's templates like, hey, today's template might be send a message. And we're going to use a Twilio account in the back office. So you'll be able to use a Twilio account where you can send a message by texting them. And you might take their script of, hey, take a picture of the scale or take a picture of your food or whatever it is and send them out. Now, keep in mind, don't get too fancy and add your own stuff, because it's really about, I think we might have lost them, because it's really about setting up the psychological part of the sale. So even if you don't like the script because it sounds robotic, man, just do it, but inject your personality and your charisma into it on the fulfillment side, right?
Okay. Right.
So those are the 2 components. Now, because those are the 2 components, as I mentioned, they have 8 or 9 modules. The biggest module you guys are going to watch, just to better understand, is you're going to both watch the welcome module. All right. Both watch the welcome module. So when you log back in, again, you're going to see just these 2 little buttons over here. You're going to click GLX. You're going to click welcome, and there's going to be number 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you do the overview, the Facebook tech, the daily calls, and the GLX support. Both of you guys can do that. If you don't know who's going to be doing the sales and you don't know who's going to be doing fulfillment, then both of you guys will be doing the following. However, if you do know who's doing sales and you do know who's doing fulfillment, whoever's doing sales, there's going to be 2 different modules. There's going to be remote sales and there's going to be regular sales. The remote sales, you have 1 through 7. I highly encourage you, if you're going to do the supplement and meal sales, do them through Gym Launch. It's on auto ship. And once they're in the system, they have a customer service back office that reaches out to them and kind of takes some of the information we put in. They touch base with them, and they handle all the nutritional and meal plans. If the customer needs to cancel, they have to call Gym Launch, and they don't call us. So we saw, and I don't know how you guys do with supplements. We're not great. We're not terrible, but we're not great. We saw clubs inside of the case studies they showed that did about an average of $400 a month in sales skyrocket to about $4,000 to $5,000 in sales. And there's a revenue share in play for us to receive some of that profit, and you guys would receive some of that revenue share. I think it's 40% of the supplements, and that's the reason why they chose those supplements. I'm not sure. I'd have to double check that information on the meal plan side. But so if the person doing sales would do the remote sales and the traditional sales, and if the person doing fulfillment would do remote retention and remote fulfillment, that's how that would go. Now, if you don't know and you guys are just going to kind of do it together, just watch all 5 of those modules. So in recap, one more time, if you guys don't know who it is, you're going to do welcome 1 through 4. You're going to do remote retention 1 through 3, remote fulfillment 1 through 9, remote sales 1 through 7, and traditional sales 1 through 7. Okay. Now, there are other buttons we're supposed to tell you guys to watch these all. This is just going to be your homework for the next 24 hours. There will be more that we're going to push your way. If you guys do it today, we're looking at a hard line. Friday, Saturday might be early. Maybe early next week we'll start your hard launch. But in order to do that hard launch, there are some other things that we will have to do. The guy that is handling fulfillment, most likely, I hit the wrong button, darn it, is going to have to create a Google sheet. Who's the tech guy in your team?
I guess me.
There you go. All right. If you have challenges with it, we'll put you in touch with Benny. He's our tech guy. There's going to be a Google Sheet doc that'll have to be created for your club individually, your gym individually, and then we're going to push it up, the information, into a master template so we can really track these key performance indicators really good and see if it's. In other words, what we're looking for is we want repeated results. If you guys are struggling in your market, but we're doing awesome in our other markets, we want to carry that success into your clubs, and vice versa. If there's something that's strategic in your market that's working, we want to carry it into the other clubs. So the fact that we're kind of all doing them all at once, it's going to be daunting as an experience in itself, but it'll be a lot more scalable because we'll be able to take that data live time and share it.
All right.
So that is the overview of Gym Launch. What we'll do is once we give you guys access, just get cracking and start watching. I mean, you're going to be gym launching and chilling, not Netflixing and chilling for a little while.
Awesome.
Any questions?
Alex, where will this video be available for us to review?
I'm going to put it into my private link on YouTube.
Okay.
So here, if you guys just post your cell numbers in the chat here.
And while you guys are doing that, as long as we're good to go, the next step from here is we're going to get in touch with our rep. We're going to pay the buy-in for you guys to get into this program. Once we do that, then you'll get the actual link to this site that Alex is talking about.
Okay.
And obviously, Mike, you probably know far better than us, but we just use a standard, business operating agreement when we do a management agreement like this. So we'll have the standard one sent over. If anything that you see, let us know. But it's typically what we've used already in 2 or 3 clubs that will determine like the 30-70 split and how it's going to work. But before we do that, I just want to confirm, like, are you guys able to commit to that 9 to 12, 2 to 7 per day to get this rolling?
That's the part I think that we have to, I don't think we discussed that the other day on the phone. So the time frame is really we're going to have to sit and talk and make it work. I think from what Adam and I have discussed, and Alex, by the way, to answer your question, that number that came through, that's Adam's number. Yeah. So Adam, Marshall, to answer your question, I think between the time that Adam and I have, we can cover the hours. We just have to sit and schedule who's going to do what. So for instance, that afternoon time, that when we're back to a regular schedule, I coach boot camp 2 nights a week during that time. So we just have to be creative with who's covering what at what time. That's all. Okay.
And I guess that's the beauty of you guys having that co-ownership in the time there, is that, you can delegate. You're kind of interchangeable with both the sales and the memberships. And, we went over, I think, a little bit right before I left Crunch, I think it's called Crunch, but, a little bit of like the sales process when I did the fitness consultations. I know you guys were both completely booked because I did such a good job selling PT there. But that's kind of that's the spin we're going to put on their model, is we're going to stick with their scripts, but we're going to come behind it with our expertise and just really fine tune and break it down and go to that next level. So cool. As long as we're good with that, right after this, we're going to get in touch with the guy, because I think tonight is the deadline. We'll process that through, and then we'll communicate. And I think it's going to be great, man.
Perfect. So in the meantime,
awesome. Sounds great, guys.
Adam and I will look and set up who can cover what times and when, just to make sure that we're completely covered. And I guess the beauty of this is it doesn't have to be done physically at the gym. We could do this from home too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So wherever
and
we're
the
at.
other part is that this isn't actually video coaching at class. This is
right.
the virtual coaching, pushing workouts, communicating, texting, having a couple minute call when you can.
Yep.
That's the beauty. And that's why they average about a minute per day per client. So, man, if we get to the point where you guys are too busy having 100+ minutes a day and 100 clients, it's a good problem to have. And we'll cross that bridge when it comes.
Yeah, that's great. Yep.
Yeah, two last points. And I'm gonna log off. I apologize, guys. Two last points. Number one, if you guys can put are you doing this with their home address here, Adam? Do you have their personal contact information just so we could put that agreement together?
Yeah, we do. We do need what did Sean say? Address, LLC information.
Full.
And then, so we're gonna pay, obviously on our side, we're gonna pay the down payment, but we'll need your business account information for the billing moving forward.
Okay. Gotcha.
All right, so that was the other one. What was the last thing? Oh man, I didn't write it down. Anyways,
Adam, just checking account number and routing number.
Yeah, let me see what he said. I don't see anything different from what he said. I'm trying to look through the text of what he said, but yeah, I think either that or a card information. But once we get off the phone with him, either if it's right after this tonight or first thing tomorrow, we'll get back to you with what we need. But shoot your text. It probably just be your social, your birth certificate, and your bank account.
Your unborn children, stuff like that. All right. So I think I got everybody. All right. So I just texted you back. Adam, did you get that, bud?
Me? I didn't
Not the other Adam.
Yeah, I got it.
All right. Just making sure. When you get a chance, just reply back with your full name and email address too. And then that might help me just save you in my contact. I won't add you guys to our groups. That was the second point. I don't know how you guys feel about internal communication. Our team sometimes loves to communicate too much. So we have an app that we use, GroupMe. So if they do communicate too much, you can just turn off notifications. But we do hop on a lot of calls. We do communicate probably a little too much. But at the same token, just want to keep you guys involved as much as we can. But if it's too much, just let us know.
Okay. Absolutely. Sounds good.
All right, guys. Thanks for hopping on.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Sent you my number.
Yeah. If you want to text me my cell phone number, here, did it go in the chat?
Yeah, I just sent it.
Oh, there you go. All right, perfect. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I got you. I'm going to send you a text in a minute, Mike. Thank you, bud.
No worries. Thanks, guys. We'll talk.
All right,
we'll talk soon. Thanks, guys.
All right,
bye. All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
508 579 1364. Hey, Mike. Alex from AF. Yeah. All right, so we're going to stop this. So we're going to stop share.